I really can't overstate how many times a good USB-C hub has pulled my behind out of the proverbial fire. Just the other day, I was doing something that I tend to do these sorts of things. I was installing full desktop Windows on a Microsoft Surface Duo, this little weird dual screen device, because why not? But in the process of doing this, I became aware that the Wi-Fi did not function on this current port of Windows. It's a weird thing to be doing. Things don't work that well. Wi-Fi doesn't work. Of course, cellular isn't going to work. Most of the things in it just don't work that well. So I needed an internet connection. Well, I don't have an internet connection other than wireless on this device. So what I did is I grabbed at the time this USB-C hub by Pluggable, which has an Ethernet port. I grabbed this big giant thing. I plugged it all in, plugged in an Ethernet cable, and there we go. I had internet, and I was able to continue doing some setups and some installation of files and so forth. But that hub is rather large. There's a big blue light on the bottom of it that is super duper annoying. It has a power adapter that has to be plugged into it. It's all a little bit annoying. And funnily enough, coincidentally, ironically, a company called UGREEN reached out to me literally like 2 days after all of this was going on to ask me if I would like to take a look at their rather small, svelte USB-C hub, which happens to have an Ethernet cable. This would make my life a lot easier as I continue testing and messing with Windows 11 on this Surface Duo. A smaller adapter would make a ton of sense. So I said, sure, send the thing on over. And I now have the thing in my hands. So we're going to do a quick unboxing followed with some testing of this particular product. So let's jump over to the overhead camera as we are wont to do. USB-C multifunction adapter 7-in-1. Apparently it's capable of 4K at 60 Hertz, which is pretty cool, pretty good to have. Lots of stuff on there. Let's just unbox the thing and see what we got. So there you go. This thing is very, very small. Looks like you've got an SD card slot as well as a micro SD card slot. Two USB 3.0 plugs here on the side. You've got USB-C, an HDMI, and then an Ethernet port on the back side, which will be particularly useful for the stuff I'm going to be doing with that Windows 11 port that I was talking about. It feels relatively, good quality. I don't know if it's metal or not, but it feels decent. I also want to compare this to another hub that I have used in the past from Anker, which is, similar in size in some ways, but bigger in others. In terms of the portage here, same, really, really similar ports, although you are missing the Ethernet port. And I do want to point out when I'm talking about that thing, $42.99 for UGREEN's thing. Anker's is $34.99. They're really, really similar in terms of ports. In terms of performance, though, you're going to get a little bit more out of the UGREEN device. And we can start with the 4K 60 Hertz versus only 4K 30 on the one from Anker. We can also talk about power pass-through being 85 watts on the Anker versus a full 100 watt power delivery on the one by UGREEN. In case you're wondering kind of how this works as well, you're going to have a port on the side that's got a little lightning bolt on it. That's your power in. So plug in a USB-C into there, whatever it might be. If it's up to a 100 watt charger, which by the way, if you're looking for a 100 watt gallium nitride charger, UGREEN makes a pretty darn good one. I'll drop a link in the description to that charger itself. And if you did do that, apparently you're going to get the full power of that charger through there. Then you plug this into your device and you're going to get full pass through. Whereas with this Anker charger, you are going to lose some of that charging speed on the overhead. All right, so we have plugged this USB-C hub in. You can see there's a flash drive, an SD card. There is a wireless mouse and keyboard as well as an Ethernet cable. And here we are on a Surface Pro 7, and you can see this is the 8 gig SD card. That is the flash drive that is plugged in. And the most impressively and coolest to me is the fact that we are now running over Ethernet. This is wired. And then of course the wireless mouse and keyboard is present as well, just in case maybe you've got a Surface Pro 7 or something like this and you don't have the keyboard cover, or perhaps you want to be able to plug a Samsung device or something similar into a TV, have a wireless mouse and keyboard to be able to move a cursor around, use DeX on a big TV, play a video, something like that. All of that is going to work really, really well, guys. Stuff like this, I just find to be extremely useful to have around, in particular when we talk about how modern devices these days just don't tend to have a whole lot in terms of I/O. There's a USB-C and a USB-A, and that is it. So a purchase like this, you're going to get Ethernet, you're going to get 2 more USB ports, you're going to get some SD card slots, right? Like that's something that I feel like I would love to have on more of my devices. Granted, this does have a micro SD card slot, but you're going to get a full SD. More is always better in instances like this. And then, you know, another USB-C to replace one you just plugged in, so you're not losing that. And then an Ethernet cable, okay? Hardwired internet is lower latency. If this is something that you're intending to maybe even do something as crazy as gaming on what being Ethernet, it's quicker, just downloading things. Going to be quicker over Ethernet. Just an extremely useful thing to have around, something that's small and portable, you could toss in a bag, and the fact that you're not going to lose charging speed. That 100-watt pass-through is a big deal when it comes to a device like this in particular, an actual computer, or even a lot of these smartphones these days that charge at extremely high wattages. You know, if your USB hub is bottlenecking your charging speed, you may be losing a lot of the functionality of your device, in particular if it's a laptop, a tablet, or one of these newer smartphones that charge really, really fast. So all that being said, guys, I think you can see why nearly 600 ratings in, we're sitting at, you know, a 5-star, 4.5-star rating average. This thing is really, really solid. I've used a lot of USB-C hubs over the years. This one is as good as any of them that I've used in the sense that it's got the full array of ports. It's got that Ethernet cable. It's not going to slow down your charging. And on top of all of that, it is really compact. This is something that is so small, it could fit in a bag so very easily. $42.99, guys. There will be a link in the description as well as probably in a pinned comment. These will be associate affiliate links, so if you purchase through that, I will earn a commission off of that purchase. That being said, I was not paid for this video, right? I was only sent the product, and pretty much what I've said to you is my actual opinion. These are not my paid for opinions. Because of the ports it has, this is going to be my Windows 11 on Surface Duo Buddy for Ethernet until we get wireless internet working. This thing is going to be indispensable to me going forward. Thanks to UGREEN for sending it out for me to take a look at. Of course, guys, don't forget to subscribe on your way out. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.